And there's a look at the biggest of the big men, Yao Ming, coming into the arena earlier. And 2K Sports welcomes you to the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg. Glad to have you on board. Houston Rockets here at home in an interconference matchup. A good one. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Tyler Hansbrough out there with Roy Hibbert and Collison. And for the Rockets, Brooks and Martin manning the backcourt. Luis Scola at the power forward and Big Yao Ming in the middle and Battier. The Rockets, Clark, didn't make the playoffs last season for the first time in 4 seasons.
Yeah, and it was a tough blow for these Houston fans because they're used to having their team play meaningful games in April, but it was hard to do that without Yao Ming all season.
Battier with it. Granger covering. Battier right side. Stolen.
The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control.
Oh, and the jam by Granger.
The steal led to an easy bucket in transition. That's a nice sequence. A little different look here. Straight man-to-man defense.
Back to Scola. And he lays that one up and in. Here is Collison. Luis Scola came over to the NBA a few seasons back after a dominant career in Europe.
Yeah, you kind of wondered if he'd be able to translate his game to the size and athleticism of the NBA. There's no need to worry about that. He's proven himself in the league.
Yeah, he's answered the skeptics.
Yep.
Here's Brooks. He's covered by Collison. Brooks kicks to Battier. Throws it up. The shot no good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Here's George. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Great execution here. A perfect start from the field. They've made all 3.
Yao with a screen on Collison. Scola with it. Hansborough's there. From 11 feet away. Scola, no luck. The Pacers off to a quick start here. Got a piece of it. Yao dishes to Brooks. Connects from in close.
Good execution on the break leads to the nice bucket.
So it's Indiana now. Granger outside. Picked up by Battier. To the right wing. Hibbert with a screen on Martin. George. George is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Brad Miller, he's checked in for Yao. And here are the Rockets, trailing by 2.
Hoping to force some turnovers, they've switched to the half-court trap.
Screen by Scola. Just 5 on the clock. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one. They get Danny Granger. The Pacers finished last season with a 9-21 record against the tough Western Conference.
Well, we call it the Wild, Wild West, Kevin, and for good reason. You don't win games out there if you're not playing at a high level. The West has had an edge over the Pacers for a long time now.
Here is Collison. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Rick Edelman. And Doris, what do you have to say?
Kevin, he said at their own end of the court, it's interior defense that coach thinks will be their biggest asset. With the shot blockers they have, no easy baskets is their mantra today. They want to send a few back at him, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And Clark, how often do we hear this from coaches?
A lot, Kevin. You know that. A lot of times that's all coaches want to talk about is defense. It gets you easy scoring opportunities off long misses, steals, and block shots, and get you into transition if you defend well. They're trying to stir things up to make something happen. They've switched their D to full court press.
Leads him with the pass. Gets the bucket.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
And here we go with Aaron Brooks. He's covered by Collison. Brooks misses.
That was a high degree of difficulty on that shot. Whenever the defense can make you change your shot at the last moment, it's never easy.
Swiped it away.
Boy, the turnovers are piling up pretty quickly here. We've seen them doing quite a bit of sloppy ball handling.
That's their third turnover in this quarter. Here's Battier. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Pass to Miller. Let's go with a three. The Rockets again can't hit. Pacers leading by 3. Short is called for the charge. That's foul number 2 for him.
Boy, he played that one beautifully. Textbook. Saw where the ball handler was headed, got there first, and set his feet. Outstanding defensive play.
Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Houston. Lee comes in for Kevin Martin. The Rockets again can't hit.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Here is Hansbrough, guarded by Scola. Here's Hansbrough, and he's able to score the bucket. Foul called by the official. So one free throw for him right here.
First team's
Nice job at the line, and that one falls to pick up the and one. Here is Brooks. He's covered by Collison. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And that one misses. He hits the second from the line. Here is Collison. Here's George. First quarter of play wraps up. Pacers out in front. They lead by 5. And it's been a tight game as the second quarter gets going. Here is Collison. Not on the scoreboard yet. Clark, you think about this Rockets team. They worked to play a more up-tempo style without Yao last year, and with their smaller front court, they really emphasize running out for layups and corner threes.
And without the big guy in the lineup, that team had to make adjustments, and to their credit, they did, and did so effectively.
We've got Lee. Shane Battier is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Lowry and Yao. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets.
That's right, fellas. Don't be afraid to power it down.
Yeah, Clark, a good counter at the end of that play. Pacers leading by 5. So Clark, with that up-tempo look, how does that affect the team now when Yao comes back in the fold?
Well, that's always interesting when you think about a presence like Yao and how much he can do inside. You've still got to play through him, but I think they'll blend, running when appropriate and making sure they take advantage of Yao when he's on the floor as well.
Tyler Hansbrough, Clark, out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, won a championship in North Carolina. In fact, they retired his number 50 jersey there already.
You'd be hard-pressed, Kevin, to find any collegian that's had a better career than Tyler Hansbrough, and you can go back as far as you want. I mean, just an outstanding college career. ACC Player of the Year, most career points and free throws made in ACC history, and the national champion to boot. had a tough rookie season with the Pacers, but I think his future is bright once he gets healthy.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, as you know, the Rockets were without their two best players last season in Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady and still managed to collect a winning record. How did they overcome so much adversity? Role players stepped up to the challenge. Said Shane Battier, we've had a lot of success because we play hard every night. And in this league, sometimes that's half the battle. Guys, the Rockets, always a scrappy team. Their effort has never been questioned.
All right, thank you, Doris.
You know, I love the way the Rockets play basketball and really hope they can get through just one season injury-free. That would be fun to see.
The Rockets making a switch here. Granger against Martin. Here's Yao, and he drops it in on the layup. Yao's got his second basket of the game.
That's where you want to be getting the majority of your shots from on offense.
Tipped. Rockets trail by 5. Picked by Yao. Lee against Granger. Granger. Whoa!
Does he make it look easy or what, partner? Trust me, that's not easy.
Oh, I know it. I think he could climb over the backboard if he wanted to. Uncovered, and it's Hibbert missing.
Unexplained phenomena, Kevin. Not even the greatest scientist in the world could figure out how he missed that one.
No good from Lee.
Well, the defense put pressure on him, and frankly, he'll miss some of those even when he's wide open.
Takes it up. Great finish in traffic.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
2:12 left in the second. We get a look at the Pacers here. What does this team need to do to get on top?
I think they need another star next to Danny Granger, and they need the continued development of young players. Brandon Rush, Roy Hibbert, and certainly a good play at the point guard position would help also.
For the Rockets, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Scola. Battier comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Brooks in for Kyle Lowry. Here's George. Kevin Martin grabs the board. And Clark, to that point, they have a lot of guys that are solid role players.
So if they could get, if they could get Granger a little help, stay healthy, and see the continued development of a guy like Roy Hibbert, who I think is going to be a really solid offensive center throughout his career, the Pacers will have a chance to maybe sneak into the playoffs.
Here is Brooks. Kicked by Yao. Brooks outside. Four on the clock. It's back to Battier. They couldn't beat the buzzer. That's a turnover. Here is Collison, looking for his first bucket of the game. Picked up by Battier. He dumps it off. Here's George. Stolen by Martin.
He just lost another one, Kevin. I mean, he's really having a difficult time seeing the defense here.
Battier outside. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. On the wing, Granger. He's guarded by Battier. Hansborough, that's good.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Rockets trail by 3. Now, here's Yao. Here's Martin, and he jams it in beautifully.
A pretty finish right there, Kevin. Take it up and then throw that thing down.
He didn't have to make it special, just get the job done.
That's right, keep it simple.
To the wing. 5 to shoot. George. The steal.
And you look at what they've done, or rather what they haven't done, it's hold on to the ball. They've had 4 turnovers already this quarter.
So it's Indiana now.
They'd be smart to hold it now for the last shot.
Now Hibbert. Here's George, and no good trying to get that one. And that concludes the first half.
And they've played 2 quarters out in, and back we.
And as the quarter begins, both teams have been trading blows like prize fighters. A close ball game. Indiana leading. The Rockets are an organization with great management, great leadership, but they've been hampered by their superstars' inability, Clark, to stay healthy.
That's been a significant problem for him, and it's been unfortunate. It's not something that you can really control. From when T-Mac was there to Yao's problems this last season, they've just had terrible luck with the injuries.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Jim O'Brien. Danny Granger and Tyler Hansbrough make up the forwards. Then it's Roy Hibbert, and there's Collison. Here is Collison. No points for him. It seems like they've always consistently overachieved with their role players, but you wonder if they can break through to become one of the powerhouse teams in the Western Conference.
That will only happen, Kevin, if Yao can stay healthy. Any contending team in the NBA has its star playing at a high level and playing most of the team's games, and we'll see if that can happen for Houston with Yao.
Brooks outside. From downtown. Kept alive. Here's Yao. A foul called, and he earns a trip to the line.
It's a well-used foul there to prevent the easy layup, Kevin.
The first free throw is good. Yao has had to deal with injuries in the past, but missing last year must have really been hard for him, Clark.
Hey, nobody likes to miss an entire year, Kevin, especially if they are the face of the franchise and really the face of a nation in the NBA. And he's a terrific low-post player, is Yao Ming.
He's a very proud person,
He
too.
sure is. That's a great point.
Here's George. Shot is off, and the Rockets going the other way now. About 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Brooks outside. Five on the clock. Buries the short-range shot. Brooks has got 5 points so far. And Clark, with Yao, the fact that he missed last year came while he was just hitting his prime.
Yeah, that might be the most disappointing aspect of it all for Yao, Kevin. I mean, he was really starting to become a dominant player, and then he had to sit the whole season.
With authority.
It's a cameraman's dream when he's going up for the slam. Poster time.
Yeah, there are few guys like him in this league. What an athlete.
He made sure to get a little extra hang time there, just to rub it in the defender's face a bit.
Look out below. I wasn't sure he was ever going to come down. For 3, Battier cannot hit.
Hey, he can hit from that range. I think he missed that one, but the defense is going to want to tighten up on him out there.
Knocks it loose. And here's Houston. It's a 1-point game. And that one's good. Brooks.
That's a terrific play. All he had to do was catch it and finish.
Timeout called the Pacers. And the Rockets making a change here. Lowry's checked in. Indiana trailing here. Clark, the Pacers just could not find a way to win on the road. What were they, 9-32?
9-32, Kevin, the second worst road record in the East. And they really struggled in enemy territory, in part because they never established themselves as a defensive team, and they had some injuries as well.
Now Martin. Right side Martin. He dishes it. Yao kicks to Lowry. Goes up. Rebounded by Granger.
You can't D up a layup any better than that. Nice work.
And it's Martin picking him up. Granger passes to Hibbert. Short.
What a high flyer this fella is. I mean, fancy moves like that are purely second nature for him.
If we see something more impressive than that tonight, I'll be shocked, Clark.
Yours truly would be too.
And he makes the free throw. Here's Lowry. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Granger covering. Battier kicks to Lowry. Shot clock at 5. Outside, Martin. Picked up by Collison. Stripped it away.
The closer in you get, the more they'll reach in for the pilfer. You got to protect the rock.
Short. Covered by Martin. Granger dishes to Collison. Here's George. Can't connect after the fadeaway.
Well, Kevin, they've been fighting it out for the rebounds here, so far it's an even match in that area.
Battier, the pass to Yao. It's tipped.
He forced the kick out, and the defense was all over.
Flushes it in.
Boy, he's so graceful, so smooth when he takes it strong to the rim like that.
You know, Clark, you can pretty much always depend on him for those kinds of plays.
Yeah, graceful and powerful.
Sure. Lowry kicks to Martin. Behind the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Martin's got 7. Here's Collison. Good if it goes. Nails the buzzer beater.
Boy, that's what I call a bailout there. He got the shot off just in time.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily.
Come on, man.
Here is Brooks. Scola out there with Martin. Then it's Brooks. Then there's Miller and Lee. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Timeout called, the Rockets.
We got fresh popcorn! Fresh popcorn!
Yao, he's checked in for Houston. Battier comes in for Courtney Lee. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin. Well, Rick Adelman had some advice for his team over that last break. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Yao, there's the buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation. So it's Indiana now. 3-point lead. And the one-handed jam to finish.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty to watch him just rise up and put it down.
Clark, doesn't it look like he's always having fun out there?
Yeah, he's having a party. I mean, they might need to stock a spare backboard when this guy comes to town. Well, it's obvious they've definitely come out ahead when it comes to rebounding in this particular contest. Boxing out, good positioning, and then pursuing the pump.
Hansbrough sets a pick. On the clock. Here's George. A missed 3.
You know, it might be the defense's game plan to force them to shoot from outside because they really sagged off on that one.
Poked away. Outside, Martin. And yep, that falls, and the foul is called. We'll see him shoot one from the free throw line.
It's been a solid outing for Martin. He has 9 points and 3 steals. What energy he's shown today, whether it's on the offensive end or on deep.
Gets the whistle, and he'll go to the line. And the first one drops for the Rockets. Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Scola. And it's Lowry in for Aaron Brooks. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Here's Lowry. About 3.5 minutes left in the fourth. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Contact certainly altered that shot. The official was right on top of it.
First free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
Here's George. Rips it down with both hands.
This is one of the NBA's most skilled finishers, and it's not hard to tell why.
Well, he is one hard man for a defense to deal with. Deflects the pass.
You know, when you compare these guys to earlier in the game, Kevin, they're doing a much better job of limiting the giveaways.
Takes it up high and down hard. Rockets trail by 7. Now Yao. Hansbrough defending. No good from Yao.
Kevin, they've got the edge here in rebounding. They're doing a good job of blocking out and then pursuing the basketball. That's good fundamental action.
Jordan, covered by Martin. Rocket 2. That's a 24-second violation, and they'll turn it over. Here is Lowry. Pass to Yao. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. It stays here.
Almost picked it off. Still, nice hustle there to deflect the pass out of bounds.
Pacers leading by 7. Here's George. Got a hand on it. And here we go with Kevin Martin. Stolen away. Five to shoot. George, covered by Martin. They couldn't beat the buzzer. That's a turnover for the Rockets. Scola comes in for Chuck Hayes. And it's Brooks in for Kyle Lowry. Battier against Granger. Granger against Battier. To end the drought. No good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Collison with it. Here's George. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. Good on the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. Gets them both, and it's a 9-point ball game. Here is Brooks. Here's Scola. Darren Collison pulls it in. Good opportunity here.
And they've got a chance to push it to double digits.
Here's George. Indiana again missing. Here's Houston now. They trail by 9 points. Here's Yao. And laid up and in.
He is an absolute beast off the low block. And whoever's guarding him, I feel sorry for him.
Here's George. It's off. So it's Indiana picking up the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Thanks for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Doris Burke and the whole crew and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time. But first, let's check out the Jordan Brand Player of the Game.
What's up? Who got next? Yeah. NBA 2K11. Trap. Big shots from the bottom to the top. Lock him up, start him up, baby, don't drop. All we wanna do is win. Feel so good when I'm with you, kid. Homie, get your scheme up, try to build your team up. That's the G-way when you play 2K. Hey, what's the game mode? What's the new features? Can you make a jump shot sitting in the bleachers? I'ma teach you what you wanna know. Take a shot and let it go. 2K11 with the S-N double O. Pick and roll, dip and dash, defense talking trash. Take a three and all you heard was